From Providence, Rhode Island, we've reached the second round of the NCAA tournament. And the sport's most famous manager leads 12th-seeded McNeese from their team hotel into the building to take on number 4, Purdue. Here's a look at the bracket in the Midwest region, and the winner of this one advances to the Sweet 16 against either Houston or Gonzaga. And hi everyone, alongside Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. Evan Washburn is with us as well. Earlier this week, the news broke that McNeese coach Will Wade is headed to become the next head coach of NC State. We thought maybe it would be a distraction. It wasn't against Clemson on Thursday.
It was such a big distraction. They held Clemson to 13 points in the first half and scored 19 points off turnovers. This team can really defend, and they wreak havoc. Not going to be easy to wreak havoc on Purdue, who only had 7 turnovers in their game against High Point.
Here's a look at the starting lineups. And for McNeese, Christian Shoemate, a double-double in the opening round, 13 points, 11 rebounds. And Trey Kaufman-Renn figures to be a pivotal part of the game plan for Purdue. He had 21 in their opening round win over High Point. That was a 75-63 victory for Matt Painter, who tries to lead the Boilermakers to the Sweet 16 for the 6th time in the last 8 tournaments. First of 2 games today from Providence. Coming up later on, it'll be John Calipari in Arkansas against Rick Pitino and St. John's. Our officials today, Jeffrey Anderson, A.J. Desai, and Tony Henderson. McNeese in blue. And we are underway in Providence with Purdue controlling the opening tip.
And McNeese, they'll mix it up defensively, but they love to switch everything 1 through 5. And this is what you got to worry about with Purdue. Getting it in to Kaufman-Renn. They can get that ball inside with the best of them.
He was 10 of 16 in the win against High Point on Thursday. Kaufman-Renn has scored at least 20 in 11 of the last 13 games.
And it's going to be interesting to see because McNeese likes to switch everything. What's going to happen when they switch one of their smaller guys on Kaufman-Renn?
McNeese out of the Southland Conference. They beat Lamar to win their conference tournament championship game. What a bonus that is. Quadir Copeland, just his 4th three-pointer of the year.
I mean, he had 16 and 5 the other day. He did have 7 turnovers, but making a 3, as you said, Andrew, is a huge bonus for him.
Here's Kaufman-Renn again. Fletcher Lawyer a 3, and that's a good sign for Purdue because he's really been struggling.
Yeah, he was 1 for 4 the other day against High Point. He only got 4 shots up, but what a great pass to the opposite side by Kaufman-Renn. You double him, he can make you pay because he can pass.
Lawyer 0 for 4 from deep in his prior 2 games. Here is Joe Charles with a 3, no good, and the rebound to Kaufman-Renn.
Yeah, they need Charles and Garcia to play well today. They did not play well the other day, and they still won. They're going to need those 2 guys today.
Yeah, they only combined for 3 points. Will Wade said we have to get them going today.
There's the switch again.
What do you think the game plan is?
Yeah, I guess they want to get it inside to Kaufman-Renn. I mean, they are not even looking anywhere else. Will Wade's going to have to make an adjustment somehow here, whether he's going to double him quick or not switch 1 through 5. He's got to decide that.
Garcia, no. Shoemate, offensive rebound. The putback not there, but it comes back out to the perimeter. Garcia, a 3. Yes.
Some great signs so far. Lawyer hitting a 3. Garcia hitting a 3.
Garcia, the Southland Conference Player of the Year and the tournament MVP in their conference tournament. But as Steve pointed out, 0 for 6 in Thursday's win over Clemson. Lawyer almost was ready to launch again. Now finds Kaufman-Renn on the wing.
Oh, they came and get him that time.
Braden Smith, a corner 3, wide open.
You know, right now, McNeese is all over the place. They double, they're getting burnt on the weak side. They can't get into a flow here on the defensive end of what they want to do and accomplish it.
Copeland sends it out to Garcia. Smith to the ground. Offensive foul against Javon Garcia. Let's take a look at winning looks presented by Great Clips.
For McNeese, they have to force turnovers because that gets them out in transition a lot more. And we said defending the paint, so far that's not going great. Purdue, they have to win the boards battle. This team had 18 offensive rebounds against Clemson the other day, and they've got to knock down perimeter shots because you got to think at some point they're going to make it a little harder to get it inside.
Christian Shoemate is changing jerseys. His jersey ripped on the last play. So Shoemate, who normally wears number 24, is not going to be able to wear that one.
Not it.
And a different manager, not Amir Khan, runs out with the new jersey. Amir's a little busy working on his NIL deals. So Shoemate now wearing number 22. Purdue has started 4 out of 4 with 4 assists by 4 different players. And now they're 5 for 5 after the jam by Caleb First.
And the thing is, they are really passing the ball right now. They've got 4 assists already in this game.
Copeland. Tough pass was handled by DJ Richards. That one goes off of Shoemate, and Copeland recovers. Copeland looking for another 3, not this time. Smith on the attack, leaves it for First, but he could not make the catch, and this is where McNeese wants to try to push a little bit.
Yeah, they have to push it. They want to play a fast tempo. That's a really bad pass, obviously.
C.J. Cox the other way, and Cox lays it in.
I think they need a timeout.
Copeland with 7 turnovers against Clemson. A bad one there leads to 2.
I know the media is coming, and that's what Will Wade wants to wait for.
Every Purdue starter has scored already in this game.
Good pass.
Charles, air ball on the 3.
Their second best three-point shooter.
Smith for 3. And that was the first miss of the game for Purdue.
And Purdue switching too. You got First on Garcia now. He does a good job staying in front.
Shoemate draws the double. Trying to get around Kaufman-Renn, sends it back out. Richard steps into a 3. Still can't get going, and Shoemate can't save it. So a great start for Purdue, pounding it into the paint, led by Trey Kaufman-Renn. A spot in the Sweet 16 is on the line.
Welcome back to Providence, where it's McNeese manager Amir Orakan's world, and we're just living in it. He arrived here as a viral sensation, and in the last couple days, guys, he's become a legit celebrity here. I've been told he has 3 devoted security officers with him at all times, including that gentleman in front of the bench there, because of so much attention on Thursday. And then Reed Vial, who is listed as the special assistant to the head coach, is now the manager to Amir Khan, handling all the NIL opportunities. I was told 135 phone calls from people that would like to work with Amir. The numbers they're getting north of the low 6 figures. I did ask, any concern about overexposure at this point, and everyone laughed at me.
That's unbelievable.
I've never seen anything like this.
No, never.
A manager? Wow.
Here's something else we don't see that often. Teams playing 1-3-1 defense, which is what Will Wade switched to in McNeese. I think it's a good change. But one thing about this defense, you get a little spread out, and it's hard to rebound. So let's see how long they stay in it. Now they're going man-to-man on this side out of bounds.
Purdue outscoring McNeese 8-0 in the paint. And a foul called on Brandon Murray. You can watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now.
Purdue has 6 baskets, 5 are assisted, and the only one, everybody's got an assist on the starting team, except the Big Ten leader in assists, Braden Smith.
He's directing traffic here. Leaves it for Kaufman-Renn. Over to Miles Colvin. He knocks it out from the outside.
There's another assist. So every time Kaufman-Renn has touched the ball, something good has happened either for him or someone else.
Murray had a big game on Thursday with a season-high 21 points.
And you know, Purdue's defense was so much improved against High Point. That's a tough shot. That's well defended.
Sincere Parker with the jumper.
They've got to find a way to not let Kaufman-Renn touch the ball anytime he wants. And here's that 1-3-1.
Will Wade told us they played a bunch of different defenses against Clemson. His lawyer misses from the outside, and he said he was going to have to do some different things, throw some curveballs at Purdue because of how smart Matt Painter is.
Yeah, I mean, Purdue's one of the top 10 offensive teams in the country, so you have to mix it up against them, especially if you're coming from the mid-major territory. They don't play teams like this. They've only played 3 teams from the major conferences this year.
Cam Heidi had it poked away by Copeland, and Colvin retreats. Shot clock at 10. Heidi from the corner. It's good. Cam Heidi's really been coming on for the Boilers.
He has been so good. Yesterday, Thursday, he had his first career double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. He's knocking down the 3 lately. When they play small, I think they're even tougher because they spread the floor, and now it's even easier to get it inside to the big guy.
Heidi was 2 for 4 from deep in the opening round win as Murray and Parker continue to heat up off the bench, and that was a big part of McNeese's win on Thursday. They got more points off their bench than they did from their starters.
Yeah, I mean, Murray, as you said, was terrific. And now this zone again.
And a steal by Copeland. Shoemate trying to join him, and what a job by Lawyer, who's then fouled by Copeland. Tremendous hustle by Fletcher Lawyer.
Really good. I think Copeland's got to realize in that situation that somebody may be coming. And it looked like he wasn't even, he was kind of lollygagging it up the floor. I didn't think he was busting it up real hard, thinking that nobody was around. But this is the NCAA tournament. These guys are going to be coming from behind.
And Copeland will go to the bench. And a substitution for Purdue as Will Berg checks in to give Trey Kaufman-Renn a breather. Berg had 10 productive minutes on Thursday against High Point, scoring 4 points.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 1-1-3. Now it's a 2-3. Garcia's on Berg. That's quite a difference in size.
Smith trying to get it to him. Out of the corner, Colvin, but before that, we have a 3-second call against Will Berg.
Wow, that's the second one I've seen in a week.
It's like a blue moon. Timeout on the floor. Good start for Purdue. Back in Providence, Purdue up by 10. First round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continues today on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. During the timeout, Evan Washburn caught up with Matt Painter.
Coach, knowing McNeese is going to continue to throw a lot at you defensively, what do you have to do to continue to solve it?
Just be fundamentally sound. Just make the next play, make the next pass. They really jump the passer more than anything, and a lot of people are, you think about the shot, but they jump the passer. So sometimes just being fundamentally sound, kind of pausing right there, pass and shot fake, and just kind of see how they scamper. But you also got to be ready to shoot the basketball.
Coach, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Shot faking and pass faking against a team that's this aggressive, that wants to force steals, are great things to do against that defense.
There's Parker. Not this time, and the rebound to Jakari Harris. We met with Matt Painter yesterday. He called McNeese riverboat gamblers. And it's hard to prepare for that sometimes.
They go for steals, but if they don't get that steal, now you have a 5 against 4, and it gets tough at that point.
Shoemate described his team as controlled chaos.
You have to do calculated risks, too.
Smith rattles it in.
He's really good with that fadeaway. Gets in the lane, and he shoots that fadeaway. Because he's obviously not that big, that gives him some extra size.
Good position by Berg, and Parker tries to shoot over him and well short. You can watch whip-around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break presented by AT&T. It's in the March Madness Live app. Let's check in with Evan.
Yeah, Andrew, and to that point about the style for McNeese defensively, that's why Matt Painter said he scheduled 3 SEC teams to start the season, because he knew they were going to have to face a team like this in this tournament that switches everything. He told his players yesterday, think of McNeese as Auburn.
That's such a great chat with Painter as there's a steal about thinking ahead in terms of scheduling what you might see in the NCAA tournament. As a foul is called.
Well, you know one thing, you're going to get one of these undersized mid-major teams that are tough, they're quick, and this is a very tough team because they had 18 offensive rebounds against a Clemson team the other day that is much bigger than them.
Cam Heide commits the Purdue foul, and DJ Richards will go to the free throw line, and this is a guy that McNeese really needs to get going. He entered the tournament shooting 45% from 3, but he was 0 for 7 in the first round. And Trey Kaufman-Renn is coming back in. He's already off to a great start.
Take a look here at how far up the lane he's got his man. You cannot get caught on the top side when the guy's got you that far up the lane. And then over here, Copeland goes for the steal. Now it's one of those outnumbered situations. Lawyers on the weak side making the 3.
4 points and 3 assists for TKR so far, and that's a rare free throw miss by Richards, who's 88% on the season.
They got to start doing something on this end because this is a clinic offensively.
Kaufman-Renn misses inside, but Harris bails him out with the offensive board.
And this guy shoots 60% from the field. Boy, he never misses those.
Smith, one eye on the basket, one eye on Kaufman-Renn. He'll take that 3 and make it.
Boy, these guys are really playing right now.
In the first half on Thursday, Purdue was 2 of 9 from deep. So far today, they're 5 out of 7.
Yeah, I think that was an anomaly the other day. They're normally a good three-point shooting team. And their defense, by the way, in the half court, much, much improved.
Bad pass by Murray and a turnover. Smith up ahead. Leaves it for Heide, who lays it in.
They need a timeout.
And Will Wade calls a timeout. Purdue is off to a flying start as the Boilermakers try to get back to the Sweet 16. And now, Power Forward, presented by Nissan, and Purdue off to an incredible start. 11 of 15, 5 of 7 from deep, and 8 assists.
It's been a clinic so far, and really, Andrew, not just on the offensive end, where it definitely is, but the defensive end. They are doing a great job of containing a smaller team off the dribble. They're switching, and you got to give them credit. They did the same thing to High Point the other day, and Matt Painter has been really concerned about their two-point defense. People were shooting 60% against them from 2 since February 1st. They have shut people down these last couple of games so far.
Shoemade has his jersey number back. He's now 24 again. Yet to score. He had 13 and 11 on Thursday against Clemson.
Yeah, and Purdue, they switch also 1 through 5.
Charles nowhere close, and Harris catches it.
They got to get some ball movement, some reversals from side to side. Oh, what a great pass.
Copeland with the rejection.
You know, I love, you see where Kaufman ran? He ran right to that block and was posted up deep. Copeland made a nice play there.
Royer bounces it into Kaufman-Renn. Here comes the double. Kaufman-Renn locates Lawyer for a step-back 3. It won't go, and the rebound comes right back to Lawyer. And a foul is called. A reach in on Copeland, and that is his second.
And he's got it. Yeah, Will Wade's got to take him out. Tough guy to take out of the game.
Copeland, the transfer from Syracuse, heads to the bench. And Tejan Brown enters the game.
Doesn't play much.
Did not play at all against Clemson. So we approach 8.5 to go in the first. And a steal by Charles.
Not a great pass from Braden Smith that time. Threw it to the wrong hand.
Richards for three. Still can't buy a bucket. Kaufman-Renn. And a foul. That's the 5th on McNeese, and Purdue with only 1 foul as Richards is a little slow to get up.
You're going to see Kaufman-Renn get it to Heidi here. Yeah, he wanted to try and look like he was shooting that, but he was not. Oh, what a good out-of-bounds play.
Lawyer misses the 3, and Shoemate flies in for the rebound. McNeese has just 1 point in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and scoreless in the last 2:45. Brown looking for help, locates Shoemate, fakes a 3, spinning on Harris baseline, finds a cutting Murray, who misses the lay-in, but a foul is called. That takes us to a timeout with 7:46 to go. Purdue rolling in Providence. Back in Rhode Island with a look at our game summary. All Purdue right now. McNeese scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 55 seconds. They don't have a field goal in the last 5 minutes. And Evan checked in with Will Wade.
Coach, with the way this game has started, what's more concerning, your offense or your defense?
Both. We got concerns on both. I mean, our offense, we're standing around, we're not cutting. We finally got a cut, and we get fouled. We should have made the and one there, but we're not very precise on what we're doing offensively. Defensively, we're behind the play the whole time. They're dictating the action. We got to force our pressure out. That's why we put Brown in. He's our best on-ball defender, and we're just being reactionary defensively. We're not very good when we do that.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, right now, Purdue's not being bothered at all on the offensive end, and as Will Wade said, because they're not getting any movement, they're not able to get any dribble penetration. You get the ball going side to side and make the defense move a little, you got a better chance to get a drive.
Well, how good is life for Amir Khan? Look who he's sitting next to right now. Spike Lee is here for the St. John's game, and they put the two of them next to each other. That's unbelievable.
And that was Matt Eldomasi sitting behind Spike Lee, who is their general manager for St. John's. So maybe he's hitting Spike for a little NIL donation.
Might want to hit the manager for the NIL donation. This kid's raking it in. Smith for 3. And the offensive rebound to First.
And that's what First has to do. Pat Painter told us the other day he took him out, and that was he didn't play him because he wasn't on the offensive glass. He needs to be on the glass.
Kaufman-Renn bounces it to Harris with the shot clock at 6. Harris puts one up, no good. Tipped up in the air, and Shoemate is fouled by First.
Really good hustle by Caleb First there. Good hustle.
Evan, what's going on with Spike and Amir?
Yeah, well, look, Spike Lee made Celebrity Row famous in so many ways. I did ask him, do you know who you're sitting next to? And he kind of gave him a look and said, oh, yeah, it's the walkout guy. So, you know, he's getting there. One step at a time, fellas.
What would you say, Lap, if your manager needed an assistant back in the day?
Yeah, you know what? I would tell him to take care of some of the players, all right? We're making all that money. Take care of some of the guys that aren't making as much.
to John Brown with the bucket. Averages just 4 points per game. He's in there because Copeland is saddled with 2 fouls and on the bench.
They've been a little more aggressive defensively these last couple of possessions.
Shot clock at 5. Cox puts up a 3 and hits it.
And that's just a great shot. That was one of their better half-court defensive sets for McNeese there, and they got burnt.
6 threes in the first half for Purdue. Parker, his jumper's off the mark. And a foul on the rebound. That's going to go against McNeese. And Kaufman-Renn is grabbing his face. Team foul number 6 against McNeese, and Kaufman-Renn is still down on the ground.
Yeah.
Getting some help up from his teammates. Let's take a look. All right there.
Yeah. Inadvertent.
Brian Selebange hitting Kaufman-Renn, who will stay in the game with 5:53 to go in the first. So Purdue has 6 threes. McNeese has 5 field goals.
Little run and jump pressure there.
Lawyer, that's a deep 3. Offensive rebound, first to the ground, and as he went to the ground, he's called for the travel.
First has been a factor on the glass.
CBS Sunday is the home of TV's new must-watch mystery. Morris Chestnut stars in Watson. New CBS tomorrow after Tracker and streaming on Paramount+. Well, there's no doubt that when we met with Matt Painter yesterday, he challenged Caleb Furst to be a little more aggressive, give a little more effort. He was on the bench for a lot of that game against High Point in favor of Cam Heide.
Well, he told us yesterday, he said, I'm not playing him if he's not on the offensive glass. That's what he needs to do for us. Otherwise, I'll put Heide in, we get more space, and he can make threes. He has to be on the glass, and he's been active today.
Kaufman-Renn still a little shaken up with that left eye, so Will Berg comes back into the game. 2 offensive rebounds so far for Furst.
Well, this is when McNeese has to make some hay with Kaufman-Renn out of the game.
And an illegal screen is called against the Cowboys. Sincere Parker whistled for the foul.
Yeah, he just ran him down.
And Kaufman-Renn is right back into the game.
Well, I guess they didn't have much time to make hay.
It's over. Still no free throw attempts for Purdue, yet they lead by 16. And Kaufman-Renn is called for the illegal screen. And Matt Painter quickly hopped off his chair. Did not like that one.
There was a lot of hands right there. It should have been a foul to start with. And yes, he pushed him off in the end, there's no doubt. But
it's on Smith, not Kaufman-Renn.
Yeah, you got to call that first one on Brown. I think, you're not supposed to be able to use your hands out there.
That's the 4th turnover committed by Braden Smith. Whoa, wild shot there, and then a foul on the rebound called against Selebange, and that'll send Kaufman-Renn to the other end for a 1-and-1.
I know there's only 5 minutes left in the half. Copeland, it looks like Will Wade's going to keep him out for the whole half, but it's close to time where you got to start worrying about where this game is going.
Kaufman-Renn, first team all Big Ten. How about the start for the Big Ten? They went 8-0 in the first round. Best record all time of any league in the round of 64.
Well, they haven't had a champion since 2000 when Tom Izzo, Michigan State won.
Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, and breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today.
And you know, Andrew, I happen to think Michigan State has a real chance again this year. That team is Tom Izzo perfect. Depth, they run, they guard, they kill you on the glass. Really tough team.
Little blood on the court that they're wiping up. Izzo and the Spartans advancing over a team from Rhode Island last night. Brian.
Phil Martelli. Philip Martelli. Phil Martelli's son. Great year for Bryant.
Kaufman-Renn makes a pair. He's got 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists.
This has been a team effort on both ends of the floor for Purdue. You got to get the movement going like this. Make Purdue move.
Instead, they fire a 3, and it's knocked out of bounds to Purdue. I saw McNeese get out in transition a lot against Clemson, and in their wins this year, they averaged 17 points per game in transition. They've not been able to get into that flow at all.
No, I mean, they're one of the top 30 teams in the country in that regard, but it's hard to run in transition when you're pulling the ball out of the net the whole game.
Yeah.
That's what they've been doing.
Not a good recipe.
Brown is really, I mean, I know, I think personally a lot of hands in there, a lot of hand checking. I give Braden Smith credit. He's a tough kid. Not complaining, but I think there's a whole lot going on. There's one, there's another one.
And Brown is called for the foul, which sends Smith to the line. Matt Painter said that when Braden Smith doesn't get foul calls, he gets very easily frustrated. And Painter said that in practice, he purposely won't call fouls on Smith just to get him used to if it doesn't happen in the game.
I never called fouls in practice.
We have some blood on the ball. Braden Smith's finger is bleeding, and now it's on the ball. See his right thumb is taped up. Braden Smith's family here, his mom Ginny, former Arkansas Miss Basketball, and his dad Dustin. They both played at Arkansas Tech.
How about this kid didn't have Division I offer when Matt Painter offered him his first team All-American, one of the greatest point guards in the history of Purdue. Unbelievable. It's a heck of a story.
They had a great year last year, and we asked Matt Painter what's the difference between Smith last year and this year, and he said he's become a more aggressive scorer, and we need that. We can't look for him to pass first. We need him to score, and he's done that with 16 points per game this year.
Yeah, they had Zach Edey last year, who was putting down 25 a game.
And Smith already in double figures today with 10. Meanwhile, McNeese only 1 field goal in the last 8.5 minutes.
They don't have an assist in the last 17:40. There's a turnover.
Smith dives to save it to Colvin. What a play by Smith. And then Colvin is fouled at the other end. And Braden Smith firing up the Purdue fans.
What a play by Braden Smith. These Boilermakers, they got it all going on both sides of the ball, led by this guy. Great hustle.
Back in Providence, a look at our tournament summary, and Duke, the only ACC team left in the NCAA tournament field. The seeds 1 through 4 undefeated, just the 6th time since 1985.
Yeah, it's been the chalk has definitely dominated this tournament so far.
Former Purdue coach Gene Katy in attendance here in Providence. He'll turn 89 in May. And we're in the same hotel as the Boilermakers. I know you chatted with the old Purdue coach.
It's the first time I met him was in 1980. The November of '85, we were in Alaska together for the Alaska Shootout. It was in Anchorage, Alaska. And that's the first time I met Gene Katy. Great guy. He looks great, too. He's 89 years old, I believe, I was told. Matt Painter sees him all the time. Great coach.
Gene Katy always wants to know who the referees are for the game. So you're never going to lose that when you're a coach.
No.
You do the same when you're announcing the games. And you want to know
I
who
do
the refs are.
always want to know who the refs are. It's a habit, you know what I mean? Can't lose it.
Can't shake it. Colvin, who was born in Providence. His father, Roosevelt, played football for the Patriots. There he is. Watching his son play now here in Providence. Copeland is back on the floor with the 2 fouls and 3:40 to go.
The other thing that Purdue has done, that's a nice job there.
And finally, Shoemate with his first field goal of the day. Kaufman-Renn off glass, yes. 8 points, 6 rebounds for Kaufman-Renn, and McNeese has no answers inside.
And they were very good, one of the better teams in the nation at not allowing points in the paint. Not today.
14 for Purdue in the paint in the first half as Copeland uses the window.
And I like that Will Wade brought him back in. I think he kind of saw it like, this is now or never. To at least stay in there.
Will Wade always has a bag of tricks, but he's going to have to dig deep into that bag at halftime because nothing has seemed to work here in the first half.
And, you know, he doesn't want to play zone and switch it up. He thinks he needs to create some opportunities.
Cox misfires. Copeland has to be careful. Nearly over the back for his 3rd foul. Instead, Richards the other way. Richards trying to get going from the outside. Just cannot make one, but Shoemate tracks it down.
Boy, this guy made 85 threes during the season.
He's 0 for 10 from deep in the NCAA tournament. Can he hit one here?
No. And they're all short. Front rim.
And Will Wade told us if Richards doesn't score, we don't have a very good chance to win. I mean, they desperately need him. Colvin misses at the other end. Kaufman-Renn the rebound. Lawyer catch and shoot.
And the thing is, Andrew, that Purdue, they're playing this packed-in man-to-man defense. Everybody's heels are inside the three-point line, as you can see. Might as well stay in there because they can't make a shot. And it's very easy to protect the paint if you're playing that compacted defensively. Look at them. They're inside the three-point line. Can't drive it.
Copeland. Offensive rebound and put back by Shoemate. We saw a lot of that against Clemson on Thursday. It's been few and far between today.
Yeah, I mean, the way they destroyed a Clemson team that, by the way, is 6'9", 6'11", 6'11 up front was really astounding.
You see the numbers on your screen. Purdue has really cooled off in the second part of this first half, but they still lead by 18.
Because the other half of what they're doing is playing great defense.
Colvin from the corner. Loose ball, guess who's got it? Smith on the ground, playing like a first-team All-American that he is. Garcia got a hand on that one, tipped around. Braden Smith's got it again, and we have... Oh, Matt Painter is saying that should not be backcourt because it was touched.
He's saying it was touched.
Well, that is the call on the court.
I mean, he didn't have possession there.
Discussion between the referees as we remind you that AT&T at the half is coming your way. Adam Zucker, Clark Kellogg, Wally Zerbiak, and Charles Barkley are standing by in New York with their insights on our first half and a preview of what's ahead.
They reversed it.
And they have reversed it.
Yeah, there was no possession there. There has to be possession. That's like the rule 2 years ago was if he touched it and it went in the backcourt to be backcourt. So there's no possession there, obviously. There's no possession there. Yeah, there's no...
Will Wade pleading his case.
Well, you know, it always drives you nuts as a coach when you get a call and then they reverse it. It gets tough on you, believe me.
And now Purdue has called timeout. Gene Steratore is with us. How do you see this, Gene?
Yeah, I know Coach Wade's a little upset, but when Javon Garcia touches the basketball as a defensive player, it absolves the backcourt violation. It used to be if offense was last to touch and then it went in backcourt, it would be backcourt. But when Garcia touches that basketball, it absolves it. It's a good job by the crew because A.J. Desai didn't see the deflection. Another official comes in and informs him, gives him the right information, and they get to play right, guys.
Yeah, it's good officiating. I know Will Wade doesn't think it is, but...
Shot clock at 5. Out of the Purdue timeout, Smith at deep 3. And the rebound to McNeese. The final 25 seconds of the first half. And fouls to give for the Boilermakers. Colvin gives one there, and now First will check in to replace Colvin.
I would not want Braden Smith or Lawyer to be the one to give another foul if they're going to use. They got one more to give if they want.
Well, Smith is still out there, but Lawyer has gone to the bench with Colvin. Shoemate with 5 seconds left. Kaufman-Renn on the defensive end. Shoemate misses. Rebound Purdue, and that is how the first half comes to an end. Dominated by the Boilermakers, who hit 6 3-pointers and out-rebounded McNeese by 10.
Yeah, that would qualify Andrew as a clinic on both ends of the floor. Offensively, a little down the last 5 minutes, but all in all, pretty clinical.
Trey Kaufman-Renn with 8 points and 8 rebounds, and he's with Evan Washburn.
Trey, I know you guys cooled off a little bit offensively, but what's worked on that end in the first half?
We're just playing hard. The team's done such a good job, whether it be when we played the team we played before this or this. Sorry, I'm tired.
It's all right, man. A lot of work.
First team, yeah, we play really hard. And then we get those offensive rebounds, we just get second chance points. And we shoot such a high percentage that we're going to get them to go.
Anything need to change in the second half to put them away?
No, just keep focus on the game plan and keep locking down on defense.
Thanks. Get some water.
Yeah, thank you.
He played 18 minutes in the first half and did not commit a foul. Purdue up 18 at the break. Coming up, AT&T at the half right after these messages. You are watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. The beautiful Brown campus here in Rhode Island as we welcome you back and we take a look at the Coke Zero Sugar first half stats. Purdue with 6 threes, McNeese only 3 assists in that first half. As we welcome you back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalon. We'll hear from Evan Washburn in a moment. At the half on Thursday, McNeese was up 18. Today, they're down 18 at the break. What has to change?
Well, the first thing on offense, they've got to move the ball side to side more and be a little bit more patient. They've taken some bad shots. Defensively, I think they got to stop jumping around and gambling. This team Purdue is too smart, too skilled, and when they gamble, they make you pay every time. Get solid defensively, get a rebound, and then push the pace. That's what they need. They need this pace to pick up because they're playing against a great half-court offensive team.
McNeese does have 4 wins this year when trailing at the half, but a big step up in competition today against mighty Purdue out of the Big Ten.
And you know, you can live on turning people over in the Southland. This team here, you're not living on forcing turnovers on these guys.
Copeland counted with the foul.
I mean, Copeland, he's a talented kid. He was at Syracuse. He uses his size here on Braden Smith. Got bumped a couple of times, and they end up giving him the and one.
Hey, you talk about the Southland, McNeese going 19-1. And Will Wade told us that he tried to build this roster to win the conference, and he did just that. Different story now when you're going against Purdue as we check in with Evan.
Yeah, Andrew, no doubt. Talking to senior Christian Shoemate coming out of the locker room about the mood and messaging from the players He said, we have to play our style. They had us on our heels early. It's our time to respond. As for Will Wade, his focus on the offensive side, and Lap's all over it. He wants better movement, not just for the offense, and the defense need to do what it needs to do, but also creating creases for better offensive rebound opportunities. They live on the offensive glass.
Second triple for Lawyer. It's 41-22. Copeland, not this time, first the rebound. Lawyer inside and dribbles right to a spot and scores.
That's two very easy baskets to start the second half for Purdue. Didn't really have to do anything on either one of those first couple of shots.
Lawyer 8 points in the first round. He's got 8 here today. Garcia from the outside. That's good. Javon Garcia with the third McNeese three. Chance of let's go Boilers from the Purdue fans here in Providence. First, defended by Copeland, goes right by him, and then rejected by Garcia. Good defense by Javon Garcia. And only 2.4 on the shot clock for Purdue. And a foul committed by Charles. First was going to the basket, and Charles stopped them.
Good out of bounds play, and Charles did whatever he could to stop it. Just dives to the basket.
That resets the timer to 20 as DJ Richards is called for the foul. That one hit the foot of Garcia.
Watch Fletcher's here. Now, Fletcher's their best three-point shooter. Watch him on this three. But look at Copeland. How can he be that far away? I mean, this is not even, that's like a layup for Lawyer. Got to be a lot closer than that.
Smith bounces to Kaufman-Renn. Good defense by Copeland, aggressive, and now a tie-up is called.
Yeah, it was really good help by Copeland that time.
Possession arrow favors Purdue. Copeland wanted a travel called against Kaufman-Renn.
See, that time Copeland was really active. He came from the weak side to give the help on that.
Shot clock at 5. Kaufman-Renn spinning, trying to get up a shot. Again, good defense, and this time the possession arrow goes to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a good call.
A 54-second possession for Purdue. They come up empty as the ball goes back to McNeese. A McNeese team that has won 12 games in a row, the second longest active streak in the country. Only Houston has won more. And the winner of this game will see either Houston or Gonzaga in the Sweet 16 as Copeland draws the foul. Kaufman-Renn picks up his first. And here's a look at the bracket in the Midwest. Houston and Gonzaga tonight at approximately 8:40 Eastern Time. Seven points for Quadir Copeland here today. One out of 2 for Copeland. Oh, 0 for 2 rather. He missed that first one. So McNeese is now 2 for 7 today from the line.
Yeah, I mean, when you're trying to come back, missing 2 like that.
Cox puts up a 3, and he's fouled by Copeland on the shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously a bad foul.
And the third against Copeland.
Yeah, he stepped into him. You got to give him, you got to allow him to come down.
So the Lexington, Massachusetts native C.J. Cox at the line. And that one rattles in.
I mean, the biggest problem right now for McNeese is they have not been able to stop these guys.
There's McNeese president Dr. Wade Roos, who is a huge supporter of everything McNeese athletics. It was ultimately him who decided to sign Will Wade when, as Wade said, nobody else would hire me. And interestingly about the school president, Hurricane Laura destroyed his on-campus residence back in 2020. So 5 days a week, Roos and his wife live in a dorm at McNeese. They're out walking the dogs on campus. He is just so ingrained in this university. And he's rooting for one more win to try to take them to the Sweet 16, but they have their hands full today.
What great help by Braden Smith that time. He just sees everything on both ends of the floor.
First misses the bunny. Garcia loads up for a transition three and hits.
Now they got fortunate on that play with First because that wasn't good defense. He just missed a layup. They got to start tightening up their D.
McNeese is starting to pick it up a little bit on the offensive end. They began 5 for 19. Since then, they're 6 for 11.
Except they're still down the same 18 they were at halftime.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a layup.
Too easy for Kaufman-Renn, who's in double figures with 10 points.
You know, it's one thing for a guy to drive on the basket. It's one thing for Kaufman-Renn to be able to drive from basically the wing to the basket.
Copeland, and that's his 4th foul.
And that's an easy one. I know Will Wade doesn't like it, but I don't know. I kind of thought it was a charge from here. I mean, that's easy. I don't know what else to say.
Matt Painter told us that he didn't think Braden Smith had played too often against such a taller guard in Copeland, but Smith did a great job drawing the charge there. And Copeland to the bench now with 4 fouls.
And I don't think he's going to be on the bench long, even with those 4 fouls.
Kaufman-Renn is fouled. And that takes us to a timeout. Braden Smith and the Boilers, as Will Wade just got teed up, are rolling here in Providence. Back here in Providence, where Christian Shoemate was called for a foul, then Will Wade got a technical, and then you see Shoemate right at your screen yelling at the official, and he just got a technical. So 2 technicals and a personal foul on McNeese. Gene Steratore is with us, and Gene, nothing going right for McNeese, but you saw Shoemate getting mouthy with the officials.
Yeah, definitely, Andrew. Frustration right now. You've got a 20-point game. Coach Wade is naturally frustrated, and he was voicing that displeasure with Tony Henderson, who gave him a little bit of time to vent and then continuously went and obviously crossed the line. And then we took a look at that Christian Shoemate doing the same thing, a little extra talk. At some point, as an official, you want to allow them to talk a little. You understand they're frustrated, but when it crosses the line, technical fouls do occur. They're going to probably shoot 4 free throws right now and then award the ball to Purdue.
Yeah, but I agree. I mean, I think the referees did a good job of trying. I like it when referees try not to call a T. I think they were trying not to. Will Wade has been very frustrated for a long time in this game. He's given him, you know, his piece of his mind a lot this game. At some point, got to stop.
So Lawyer makes 3 of the 4 on the technicals. And now Kaufman-Renn will go to the line based on the initial foul call against Shoemate. You can refresh the madness with Coke Zero Sugar to get an exclusive offer in the Wendy's app. Three Boilermakers in double figures. Kaufman, Wren, Smith, and Lawyer. Nobody in doubles for McNeese, and it's now a 53-28 game. And a turnover by the Cowboys. Brown is in there because Copeland has 4 fouls, and he coughs it up.
They should bring Copeland back in. I mean, you know, if you're going to come back, it's got to start now anyway.
A steal by Garcia. And Garcia missed it. Shoemate flies in, and he is fouled on the putback.
You know, one thing about Braden Smith, I know he's done a lot of good things. He's got 5 turnovers in this game.
Yeah, 3 turnovers in the opening round, 5 today for Smith.
I'll tell you, I saw something at halftime in 40 years I've never seen. I've never seen a team come out and warm up with 8:30 to go on the clock. Purdue came out of the locker room at halftime with 8:30 to go on the clock. I've never seen that.
Wanted to pick up where they left off. Couldn't wait. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. McNeese is 2 for 8 from the free throw line, 0 for 4 this half.
Wow. Well,
0 for 5 this half.
He's a 43% free throw shooter.
Kaufman ran extra pass. Lawyer is wide open but misses, and the rebound to Charles. Brown on the attack and the easy lay-in.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a tempo that time. They pushed it up, but Purdue didn't get matched up right away. They get a layup on it.
A 23-point game. Smith with the shot clock down to 4. Smith puts up a prayer, and it's an air ball. Good defense by McNeese. Sincere Parker back in the game, and Miles Colvin checks in for Purdue, replacing C.J. Cox.
You know, the one thing you don't want to do if you're Purdue is get lax. That you can't have.
Brandon Murray at 21 in the opening round. Murray's got the ball here, and he's rejected by Kaufman-Wren.
Great block.
Murray, no field goals today, and Purdue gives it right back.
Another turnover to Braden Smith. Kaufman-Wren coming from the weak side. Murray wants to take Smith. He's much bigger.
There he goes. Missed it again. The follow is there by Murray, his first field goal today.
He missed the first one because Kaufman-Wren came over to help, but he gets the follow.
On Thursday.
Oh,
wow.
That's another turnover.
Yes. Second foul on Smith.
I mean, one thing, Brown can harass you. I mean, Will Wade said he's their best on-ball defender, and that's a little bit of a frustration play there by Braden Smith.
Five turnovers this half for Purdue. 7 in the game for Smith.
And now Murray's going to go again.
Bounces it inside, and a miss by Selebangue. And out of bounds. It'll stay with the Boilermakers. A little bit more energy the last few minutes for McNeese as they try to chip away at this big Purdue advantage. The defense again by Brown.
Brown is tough.
Sophomore from Dallas, played at Kimball High School. He was supposed to redshirt this year, began the season not playing, but then after some injuries to Allen Breed and Omar Cooper, they pulled the red shirt. Now he's playing in his 22nd game of the year.
And Brown now on Kaufman-Renn. Here comes the double.
And a foul is called on Brown. And that's the 7th against McNeese.
It's a long time they're going to be shooting fouls. And, you know, that time they had Kaufman-Renn bottled up. They didn't need to reach in. Just keep him there.
Purdue is 5 for its last 20 from the floor. And Kaufman-Renn misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Parker will take a 3.
You know, they've gotten lax on offense, and it's showing up in their defense now, too, a little bit.
The McNeese fans who are here making some noise. Purdue has not scored since the technicals. Colvin nearly turns it over, able to get it over to Lawyer.
I'll tell you, this kid Brown's wreaking havoc by himself.
Heidi shot fake and then turns it over.
They got to get a good one here.
Parker is open. Missed it. And Colvin able to corral the rebound.
I think it's time for them to run some offense.
7-0 run for the Cowboys. Shoemate hops off the bench at the scorer's table. Lawyer's wide open. Missed it. Kaufman-Renn the tip. No, Charles the rebound.
I'll tell you, Lawyer's had 2 in this half that he couldn't be any more open. He's a 42% three-point shooter.
He's 2 for 9 from deep today.
And let me tell you, Andrew, they've all been good looks.
Charles a 3. That is short.
They were having much more success driving the ball in this half.
You see the scoring drought for Purdue. Colvin's open for 3. And Parker the rebound. Purdue in a scoreless drought over 4.5 minutes. They have 3 field goals here in the second half and 6 turnovers. Murray and 1.
They've had success in this half driving the ball. They got to keep doing that. And the Boilers got to start going back inside because they're making a move, McNeese. Down 16 right now to the Purdue Boilermakers.
Let's take a look at winning looks presented by Great Clips.
Well, McNeese needed to force turnovers. They're starting to add up now a little bit, and that's why they're putting a little bit of a dent. Defend the paint. I'll tell you what, Purdue was dominating the paint in the first half. They only have 4 points in the paint in the second half. Purdue win the boards battle, which they are doing. Knock down threes. Okay, they're doing a decent job from the three-point line. But how about this? In the first 10:30 of the game, Purdue had 11 field goals, 9 assists, 3 turnovers. In the last 18:30, they have 5 field goals, 1 assist, and 9 turnovers.
Murray cannot complete the three-point play.
They are killing themselves there. 2 for 10 from the foul line.
What'd you hear in the huddle, Evan?
Yeah, listening to Matt Painter and Purdue, discipline was one word that came up, obviously referencing the turnovers. And offensively, this team has been susceptible to these type of lulls. He really wants them to just keep shooting, kind of preaching that confidence and not let them get too down on themselves.
Well, that's a good thing to be, but how about throw the ball inside to that big guy?
Cox a 3 and a big shot by the freshman.
And they needed that, and he was wide open. Wide open.
That stops a 9-0 run by McNeese. Murray trying to regain the hot hand we saw on Thursday, and he draws the foul. What a job by C.J. Cox today, who grew up an hour away in Lexington, Massachusetts, has a lot of family and friends in attendance. He averages under 6 points per game. He's got 11 today, including 2 threes. From the underworld of Guy Ritchie comes Mobland, starring Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, and Helen Mirren. Go inside the Harrigan family as they try to stay on top of a criminal empire. Stream it March 30th on Paramount+. Murray makes it a 17-point game as we approach the midway point of the second half. Here comes the pressure. Smith.
His foot got close to half court, I'll tell you that.
And the shot clock down to 10. Kaufman-Renn, good position, counted and one. Took a bump from Salabange and a chance for 3 for the junior.
Yeah, I mean, when you get this deep position and you're Kaufman-Renn, you're completely dead. He had 2 feet in the paint, and they were playing behind him. If you let him catch the ball there, he's as good as there is in college basketball.
He's got his 4th double-double of the season with 14 points and 11 rebounds. Still no Copeland for McNeese. That's a credit to the way John Brown has played since coming in.
Yeah, no doubt. Brown has really been a very pesky defensively.
Brown comes out as Garcia re-enters, and we'll see how long Will Wade keeps Copeland on the bench. There's see a look at the foul trouble for both teams. Murray, nice move, and a good look to Shumate.
The dribble penetration has done something this half, which they couldn't get in the first half.
Kaufman-Renn trying to go baseline. Good defense there by McNeese, but tipped out to Harris. His 3 no good, and Murray flies in for the rebound.
And they need to push.
Murray trying to split the defense, goes to the ground. Trying to get a timeout, and a tie-up is called. It's Purdue basketball.
Looked like he slid a long way to me. I don't know if it was a foul, if he was tripped, or... I would think got to be something.
Oh, no, lost possession of the ball, yeah. Murray went over the 1,000 career point mark in Thursday's win over Clemson, his 4th different school, beginning with Will Wade at LSU, then to Georgetown, last year to Ole Miss, and now with McNeese. Harris left alone, knocks it out.
Wide open.
I mean,
9 threes for Purdue. That surpasses their season average of 8. Garcia trying to answer, and he does from the corner. And Will Wade will call timeout. With 8:15 to go. Purdue still in the driver's seat here in Providence. We're back with a look at our game summary. 6 turnovers for Purdue here in the second half, but their 3-point shooting has helped give them this big lead.
yeah, I mean, they've made 9 out of 23, and a lot of situations have come when there's 2 guys guarding 1, so somebody's got to be able to do a good job of reversing the ball to Braden Smith there. Then over here, starts out with that dribble penetration, and you got to get through that screen on top. Caleb First had a great screen. They knock out another 3 there. They've had a lot of, I'll tell you, they're 9 for 23. They've had some great looks that they've missed.
Some pressure here from the Cowboys, and Will Wade continues to sit Copeland. It's been just under 10 minutes that he's been on the bench.
he obviously likes what he's seeing from this group a lot more. And there's another open three.
And Colvin hits it. 10-3 for Purdue.
You know, they're so smart, Purdue. They know that they're switching, so a lot of times the guy who goes to screen goes back the other way, and they're messing up these switches big time.
Colvin has 8 points. Murray, off-balance shot, no good, and a quick rebound by Kaufman-Renn.
I can't tell you how many times Purdue has gotten an open shot that on miscommunications on switches.
Purdue dominating the glass, plus 15 against McNeese, and now Copeland is at the scorer's table, set to check in. With the shot clock at 5, Lawyer spins out, the tip, no, Kaufman-Renn again, surrounded by Cowboys, and a foul is called. With 7:05 to go, Purdue trying to punch its ticket to the Sweet 16. Now it's time for It Takes More, presented by Powerade. And not the best statistical game for Braden Smith, but his hustle is unmatched.
Yeah, I mean, he always brings that kind of heart to every game that he plays. He's just a really tough, competitive kid who never takes a play off, and he plays like 40 minutes every game. So, I mean, he just gives everything he's got all the time.
First Big Ten player to average 16 points and 8 assists per game since Magic Johnson with Michigan State. 7 turnovers today for Smith, and yet the team still has this large lead.
And you know what it is? I mean, as much as they've turned the ball over, McNeese only has 3 points off those turnovers. And that's huge because they usually average about 17 a game off turnovers. They've got 3 against Purdue.
What a start to this tournament for this man, Trey Kaufman-Renn. 36 points and 22 rebounds in the first 2 games.
I'll never forget Matt Painter telling me 2 years ago when they obviously had Zach Edey. He said, I'm telling you, this kid Kaufman-Renn could be an all Big Ten player. And sure enough, he was first team all Big Ten this year. He was averaging 5 a game then.
Inching closer to another 20-point game. He's got 16. If he gets to 20, it would be 12 of the last 14 that Kaufman-Renn has gone for 20 or more.
Now, I give the kid a lot of credit. I mean, he stays here to play behind Zach Edey 2 years. That's almost unheard of now, but that's the kind of program Matt Painter has. 17 of these 18 guys never were at another school. That's unheard of nowadays.
Parker hits the 3. Parker in double figures with 10 points.
Parker's been pretty good both days. Open.
Lawyer, finally. He's been playing through that sprained left elbow, and his numbers have been down the last couple of games. He's got 14 today, 11 in this second half. The answer not there. Colvin the rebound, and now inside 6 minutes to go. Kaufman-Renn. And Purdue can do no wrong right now. Garcia, way short on the 3, and it's saved from going out of bounds by Parker, but right to Purdue. A Boilermaker team that has scored on each of its last 5 trips, and Matt Painter is now saying let's use a little clock.
Yeah, with a 24-point lead.
Lawyer bounces it to Kaufman-Renn, who scores again. And now he's got 20 with his parents watching. 19th time this year he's scored at least 20 in a game. Parker too strong off glass. Colvin the rebound.
Yeah, Matt Painter wants him to walk it up. Like that last possession, they hold the ball the whole time and they end up getting a layup with 5 seconds to go. You can't do much better than that. No double.
Offensive foul called on Kaufman-Renn.
You take a look here. Now they're supposed to switch this, but Brandon Murray, for some reason, doesn't foul a lawyer up here. They don't talk it out, and he ends up, he can't be any more open than that.
11 threes for Purdue today. Garcia. Parker going baseline, and the reverse lay-in is good for Sincere Parker. The Rockford, Illinois native continues to put up points. He's now got 24 in the first 2 games of the tournament.
Should try to dribble through that double team.
A scramble for it. Kaufman-Renn to the ground. A tie-up is called, and it's Cowboys basketball. Our final media timeout with 3:54 to go. McNeese and Purdue, and it's been a tough day for the Cowboys. And Purdue has played most of this game with the equivalent of a 10-shot lead. They have just been all over the Cowboys in this one.
From the word go.
Counted in 1 for Sincere Parker.
Yeah, the transfer from St. Louis, he's had a pretty good NCAA tournament. I don't think that was a foul, but.
Garcia comes out, played the entire season with that mask after breaking his nose over the summer. Southland Conference Player of the Year as Parker completes the 3-point play.
Now the run and jump coming.
8th turnover by Braden Smith, and Copeland finishes.
They're not rolling over, that's for sure.
Still have 2 timeouts to play with. 3 for Purdue. Lawyer. Whoa. And a foul is called as Lawyer hits the deck.
Might be on Copeland.
And it is, and that is his 5th. Oh no, they changed the foul. Not on Copeland. They call it on Charles, which is his 1st, and sends Lawyer to the free throw line. Moving closer to our 2nd game in Providence, and what a showdown it should be. John Calipari and Arkansas against Rick Pitino and St. John's. The approximate tip time, 2:50 Eastern, right here on CBS. What are you expecting in that one?
Wow. That's a high-level athlete, big-time glass game. It's going to be a lot of size in that game. Whew. That's a goodie.
This building is going to be rocking. Been great crowds here in Providence for this 1st and now 2nd round as Harris misses the 3 and Garcia saves it from going out of bounds.
I think St. John's is going to see a level of athleticism that they don't see often. With size, I mean, Adu is 6'10", Brazil is 6'10". They've taken over for Ivisic now inside. They played great yesterday, both of them.
It's going to sound a little bit like a St. John's home game, including Spike Lee, who's already here to watch the 1st game. Just had a 3-hour drive from New York City, and this town has been taken over by St. John's fans this week. Been tough to get a ticket here this week.
And it's ironic, too, that Pitino and Calipari 2-2 against each other in the NCAA tournament on top of it.
Murray cleans it up inside. Kaufman-Renn is fouled. Well, this figures to be the end of the Will Wade era at McNeese. finishing up his second year and reportedly heading off to NC State as soon as this game ends. McNeese hiring Will Wade after he was fired by LSU amid the allegations of recruiting violations. And, you know, some people had a problem with the way it went down this week with the news getting out. And we asked Will Wade about that yesterday, and he said he doesn't hear what people say about him, and he doesn't care what people say about him. He said it used to bother him, but after getting fired, his perspective changed. And he said you can't control what other people say or think, and all that matters is what the people around me think. And it's clear, Lap, that this team respected his transparency, respected his honesty, made them better players. They could be going to NC State or a bigger school next year, and it seems like this marriage worked out for everyone.
Yeah, everybody was on board with it. And, you know, it wasn't, I wouldn't have handled it the same way. I would have done my best to, like, we're concentrating on this, but the one thing you have to say is they were honest. You know, it's one thing to lie about things. You probably could have backpedaled a little bit, not talked about it as much, but they decided to be transparent. The players know it. Everybody knows it. We asked Shoemate yesterday. Yeah, you know, it's okay.
And look, the college basketball has clearly changed in the last few years, and with the transfer portal opening, there is a greater need and sense of urgency to make a hire quick before the portal opens up. Now, we can debate all we want when the portal should open up, but it's opening, and you need a coach to start getting some players.
Yeah, and you know, it's opening up on Monday, so it really is. And these things go quickly, these portal things. They go quick because all these kids have already been recruited before, so they know what this process is like, and they're ready to make a decision.
They've been reviewing a possible hit to the head as we check in with Evan.
Well, the other aspect of this is the university and the program, and talking to their president, who you touched on, and his story and his commitment.
Review, the play has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. White will shoot 2 shots. Ball is underneath at the basket.
Talking to Wade Roos, the president, before this game, he's an economist at heart, and he's estimated $50 million in free advertisement based off of what this basketball team has done. That includes all the work that Will Wade's done, even their manager, Amir Khan, and most importantly, the players. So, again, this has been an understanding going back 2 years, and everybody, including the university and the program, seem to be walking away from this in positive mindsets.
Yeah, which is, you know, doesn't happen very often. So, you know, if you don't like the way it was handled on the outside, that's one thing, but you can't say they handled it, they were subversive about it or anything. They were not.
Copeland has fouled out after the flagrant, so he is done for the day with 9 points. Kaufman-Renn has 22 points and 15 rebounds today. Those are Zach Edey numbers.
Yeah,
for Kaufman-Renn.
He's had an unbelievable year. Let's face it, 60% from the field. He's a good passer.
Parker with the left-hand finish. And then a turnover. Final 90 seconds. And Brown able to sneak inside for 2. Will Wade calls timeout so he can empty his bench. Eric Villarreal and Lamont Evans will check in. Now, one thing Purdue's going to have to clean up going forward is the turnovers. 17 on the day, 11 here in the second half.
Yeah, they only had 7 the other day against High Point, but High Point plays a different kind of defense. They just want to contain you. These guys want to turn you over. Now, you know, Purdue will play Houston or Gonzaga in that next round. Those, talk about 2 very different teams. One's the highest scoring team in the country, and the other one's one of the lowest, but the best defensive team. So they got to get rid of these turnovers, especially if they end up playing Houston. There's another one.
And Brown with the jam. McNeese fighting hard to the very end. Harris with 4 to shoot. He'll put one up and tip to Murray. Whoa. Evans lost it going up. With 33 seconds to go. Purdue will win its 6th consecutive second-round game. And the Purdue fans here in Providence on their feet to celebrate this Boilermaker charge.
And now where are they going next week? Indianapolis.
Not a bad place to go if you're Purdue. West Lafayette, where their campus is just down the road. Harris looks to be taking the shot clock violation. Give credit to the Cowboys. They finished this game on a 15-3 run. They played hard to the end, but Purdue advancing to the Sweet 16 for the 6th time in the last 8 tournaments.
I mean, for a good part of this game, they ran a clinic. Didn't finish the second half. Didn't play this nearly as well in the second half. And that's something that I'm sure Matt Painter's going to address. Sometimes you lose your concentration a little bit, but you never want to do that in an NCAA tournament game.
Kaufman-Renn with 22 points and 14 rebounds. Lawyer with 15. Braden Smith with 10. And Will Wade and McNeese head home after a memorable week here in Providence. We update the bracket. There is Purdue in Indianapolis to take on either Houston or Gonzaga in the Sweet 16.
Hey, Will Wade, 28 wins. Nothing to sneeze at.
It's now 24 wins this season for Matt Painter and Purdue, and Painter is with Evan.
Coach, first of all, congratulations. I'm sure there's some coaching points as to how you finished that game. But truly from the start, it seemed like there was a real focus from your group. Knowing the opponent, what was the approach you wanted the guys having for this game?
Yeah, just have execution in what they're doing versus their switching more than anything. We thought, like, if we can make some baskets, they got to play against a set defense, be able to get on the glass. We did a good job in the first half and out-rebounding them by 10. But we just wanted our effort to be like it was against High Point the other night. But we had to have execution. Came out and made some shots early. Weren't real consistent there, but we made enough to push out the lead.
When Trey Kaufman-Renn plays like that, what does it mean for your team as you head to the Sweet 16?
Well, he's played like that all year. He's been very consistent. He's worked very hard. We've asked a lot of him. He'll get tired at times, so we got to sub him, whatever. But he's a tough, unique player, man. He can get you in that mid post, that short roll, or in the low post, and he causes a lot of problems.
Coach, congrats, thanks, and good luck next week.
All right, thank you.
11 threes for Painter and Purdue today, and the Boilermakers are back in the Sweet 16. So one game in the books here in Providence. Coming up on CBS, it's Arkansas against St. John's. But first, we'll send you to our studio for Capital One Tournament Central right after these messages.